No, we're good. Hey, we're talking with Dremiel Byers here, coach with the Army team. You wrestled this tournament a ton. I mean, you won 11 medals, 6 golds. What were your thoughts of wrestling here? Because you entered every year and you did very well.
It's a very important tournament for local athletes. You know, it's an international competition, you know, right here in your backyard. So you got to train up for it and come out here and test what you've been doing, you know, and measure yourself according to these people, because ultimately you're trying to get this Olympic medal. These are the people you have to face. And it's good that we got something like this, you know, and I'm grateful for it. I've always been grateful for it. It's a good thing to see, a good warm-up tournament also.
Yeah, and you'd often wrestle here and then go a few weeks later overseas, right? I mean, it would get you ready for some of those foreign guys on their turf too, right?
Definitely. And you know, usually this tournament's in January or February.
Right.
Don't matter when it is, really, as long as you get that opportunity, and hopefully it'll stay and keep going, you know, because it's a good look for our guys. It used to be that we'd do this other thing, the Kiki Cup, before that, and that gave more guys that wasn't going to see those better guys, you know, better overseas athletes, you know, a chance to fight against them and wrestle against those guys. Measure yourself, test yourself. Ain't nothing wrong if you find a new problem. You know, you find a new problem, there's something new to fix. You know, and then you fixing that in yourself, and then you keep going, chase your medal.
And you beat a bunch of different guys. It's not like you ran into the same guy every year. It was different Americans. It was some good foreigners.
Definitely.
I mean, did you feel some pride when you were able to come out of that tournament with a gold and know your season got a good start?
I think it's a good warm-up, a good starter, you know, because right after that, you know, you probably might have been leaving that week.
Yeah.
You know, or that next day for your foreign tour, your overseas tour, and it was good to see such different competitions, you know. And in the end, you know, I was doing terrible here, you know, because I was sick, and you know, I think about that a lot. I tell my guys about that a lot too. You know, there's a way I could have came in here more prepared, and I didn't. You know, even though I wasn't able to do what I was supposed to do, it's just you got to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You got to kill your bad habits. Kill them. Get them out your life. Get them out your life. Surround yourself with people that can share your goal at least, or at least share your work ethic.
So it's a different role for you as a coach, right? Have you really enjoyed that? I mean, you got along with everybody as an athlete, you know, but this is a different role. You can't be just their friends. You got to inspire them, but push them hard too, right?
Definitely. There's a lot of growing pains that I got to learn.
Yeah.
And whatever I did as an athlete is the most irrelevant thing.
Right.
When you're trying to coach somebody, it's not about you anymore. Right. That person's not you, and they might not learn it the way you learned it. You know, I can explain it. My biggest fear when I first started coaching was I didn't want to waste the time that it took. You know, I know it took a long time for me to understand what my coaches were saying. You know, I wanted to show them the shortcuts to, you know, I finally got it. I want to show them all my shortcuts, you know, and then fill it in, you know, see what they really can do, measure the moves that they can do, you know, how much intensity they have with it, and then look at, you know, that person, that each individual, you got to go back. And so now I'm just about this athlete now. I'm just about this athlete. I know what he can do. I'm trying to make him understand, and I want to assume the burden of learning how to speak their language. You know, I think there is a generation gap. It's a monster. It's a true thing, you know. Millennials are real. You know, you can't choke them. You know, so you got to talk to them and understand and communicate. Because in the end, you know, you're the leader now. You got to be effective enough to get obtain this goal that you set. And that's how it is. That's how it is. You know, I can't give up on them, because nobody ever gave up on me on this team. You know, they saw me always through. They always saw me through, and that's what I had to get back. You know, it's a lot of people that earn medals in this country, and I'm not knocking anybody, but you should never think that you got there by yourself. Never think that, because someone else helped you. Somebody took the time to show you, explain, look at film, tell you what's wrong in you, showed you how to kill the bad in you, so you could go out there and win that medal.
And Coach said you learned a lot from when you started, right?
Oh, yeah.
Think about the growth you had in your wrestling career.
Definitely.
You know, you came in without really much background, and now you're passing it on, right?
Definitely. And that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do, because there's good people in this community that we have. You know, people that really understand. And, you know, like, there's some jerks around us too, but there's truth in what a jerk say. You know, Brandon Paulson, I asked him a question a long time ago. Why are these guys running off the mat crying, throwing tantrums like that? He said, because unlike you, Byers, they actually worked hard, showed up thinking they was going to win, and they're disappointed with their performance. I said, what you mean unlike me? You'll figure it out one day. That's why I thump him in his head. You know, I don't thump him. I do call him Gazoo. Hello, dum-dums. That's it.
So, hey, heavyweight's been one of our best weight classes, the United States in Greco. Talk about moving forward. You're training great young kids in Greco heavyweight, but you're also working with the Americans in other programs. I've seen you at the training center.
Yes, this is my whole deal. I believe you have to be responsible for your weight class, even if you're past it now, you're not in it, you're coaching. Try to be responsible for your weight class. You know, things that wouldn't have flown, or no one would have gotten away with, you know, in my day, I'm not going to let you get away with in this today. I'm not going to let it happen. And, you know, I'm going to show you the bad habits. I'm going to explain it all. I'm going to show you where this move came from. I remember a lot of stuff like that. And I just want them to understand they represent something greater than themselves. And we need that. We need that. We need these guys to understand that. I mean, they're a lot of know-it-alls, but they got more talent than us half the time when they show it. When they show it, they can do a lot more than what we could at the stage of the game they're in, you know? And you got to respect that, you know? I see this talent. It's just raw talent. There's no direction. And the coach got to be a compass. You know, that's what Sean Lewis has always been to me. Every Army coach, you know, all the coaches set in my corner. You know, they stopped me from doing something, you know, or kept me on the right path. They were men that showed me consequence and kept me in bounds. You know, I know that. I got to respect that. And that's what I got to give back at the very least. Outside these wrestling moves and how to pump people and read them, engage them, dissect them, you know, and get this medal and bring it home, get our song played. That's what we need. That's what we want. You know, and I see these guys, they want to do it. They believe in themselves, you know, and they're learning. It's a slow process, but I just want to see them get it done. And
you see some medals in the future from some of the kids out there right now.
Definitely. With this talent that they have, it's inevitable. You know, I just see a lot of different things that they interpret wrong. You know, so I got to go back and, you know, somebody may say something to them and they're looking for an explanation. You know, what does that mean? What does that mean? You know, and outside of them being who they are, I think just their lives up until this point, you know. The majority of these kids, you know, you can't talk to them unless you know how to play Madden, you know.
Sure.
And, you know, so really learning their language is the big thing, you know, and getting it out of them. But then sometimes you just got to shut them up and get them going. Get them going. Don't accept it. Shut them up and get them going. Get them going.
So the Army team's always acted and been a family, right?
Definitely family.
And
definitely.
you know, when you were competing, I think you had more fun helping your teammates during the finals. You were cheering them on and really getting them fired up and barking for them. Just talk about that family thing, because now as a coach, you're still part of developing that culture.
Definitely, the way I'm doing it, you know, I hate to say it, the way it was done for me was I was in a bad situation, and there was a vet on that team that grabbed me and said, no, this is for you, I want you to do it this way. And you know, even when I was in the barracks and didn't have a car in Georgia, when we was in Sand Hill, you know, I didn't have a car to go get food or anything like that. Coach Eidelberg and Edward Mitchell, Staff Sergeant Edward Mitchell, go fishing, they drop all their fish off, said clean them, you know. They didn't teach me to fish, but they told me how to clean them, and they said I can keep this many, you know, and it was just like that, you know. So if I know, you know, we got all these hunters on the team, I've seen our hunters go fill someone's freezer, you know, to make sure this new family that just got around us not worrying about food, you know. I want you to worry about this. I want to take your worries away, so all you got to do is suffer in this room. Suffer in this room and make yourself better. You know, and that's what a lot of us do. I mean, it's just natural. It's just natural. You know, you're a non-commissioned officer. You can't walk past a deficiency. You're going to take care of soldiers. You're going to take care of soldiers. You're going to place their needs above your own. And that's just something that we have to live by. We have to live by it and keep it going. You know, traditions will die real quick. You know, but if you get these guys understanding that, picking that up and putting it on their back and carrying that, then you're going to live. Your tradition is going to live. What you've invested in is going to live. You know, and it stays relevant. It stays relevant because those guys saw me. They don't see the old heads that's coming and cussing me out if they do bad, but they know something's happening somewhere because it rolls downhill. You know, and I just
You
love
see
it.
yourself coaching for a long time. You wrestled for a long time.
I hope I could. You know, I said some sad things one time. I said if I could be at least 10% of the coach Sean Lewis is, I know I'd be a winner. You know, and I see now I got to do more than that. I got to do more than that. That'll disappoint him. So I got to learn more, and I'm still going to learn more. I make mistakes every day, and I go back and undo them, you know. Like I say, with the mistakes I show, like through my shortcuts, some of those athletes, natural ability killed that shortcut I just showed everyone in the room.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I pick up on stuff like that. They don't even know what just happened, but I pick up on that. I'm like, man, I gotta go back and show something better. You know, so I gotta keep learning myself. You know, and step it up. You know, every day. You know,
well, we're real excited at your role. I've talked to some guys that are real pleased to have you as a resource, and Coach Lewis has been really complimentary of how you're doing. So, anyway, Dremiel, you're one of the greatest we've ever had in Greco, and I look forward to you creating even more great wrestlers for our country.
I really appreciate that.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, thank you.